have spoken to us and indicated, but I think it's them who must speak publicly. I know Colombia and Bolivia have already stated their intention. And of course, we've had now the recent application by Nicaragua. As we know, Germany sought to defend and cast aspersions on our approach to the ICJ by claiming there is no genocide by Israel. I don't know how they arrived at that conclusion, because when you have a whole nation being attacked in the way that we've seen, I don't know what else you can call it. So there are countries, particularly in Latin America, that are standing up. I hope more will do so. We anticipate that by the time we arrive to the date of the hearing on the merits, the full hearing on the merits of the case, at that point I expect a number of countries to come forward. You would have seen with the hearing last week on the occupation that 56 countries came forward to be witnesses and provide statements to the ICJ on the matter of occupation and whether it's legal or illegal and constitutes apartheid. The Palestinian people have been occupied for 7 decades. And we know in terms of the United Nations Charter that an occupying force has a responsibility to protect those it occupies, not to kill them and attack them. And what we have seen is a total breach of international law. The struggle has many forms, and you must always understand that. You can't struggle in one way only. You cannot only use the gun. You must also use diplomacy. You must use underground. So a struggle has many facets, international solidarity. So I believe that the role that many important countries in the Arab community are playing is one that is significant. The role of President Erdogan as a peacemaker, the role of President al-Sisi and the Emir of Qatar as negotiators. These are important. They support the freedom fighters' role. They support the role of the politicians. So I appreciate. I feel ashamed that I'm not in Gaza today, that I cannot protect the children and the women. I wish I could. I wish more of us could march to Gaza and stand in protection of Palestinian people. That is what they deserve. They've been struggling for so long, and we've been absent from assisting them. So I feel that this time, with this threat on the people who have sought refuge in Rafah, I believe the world must stand up, that the world must say, we will protect the Palestinian people, and they must send a force, a peace force there, to save the lives of Palestinian people. If we don't do that, I see a worse catastrophe than any of the killing we've seen up to today. Israel has enjoyed impunity for a long time because many of us were absolutely correctly appalled by the Holocaust that was practiced against people of Jewish origin. But now, that experience is used as a shield to practice harm against others, especially Palestinian people. And that is something we cannot tolerate. But I think that they've gone so far that they've made the whole world stand up and speak out. More and more countries, even the closest allies, are beginning to see what we have seen for so long, that this cannot be allowed to continue, that the people of Palestine, in fact, are in an apartheid oppression situation, and that they deserve freedom like all of us. More and more countries are appalled. The recent slaughter of civilians who are starving, who are trying just to get aid, nothing. They weren't carrying a weapon, they weren't killing anybody, but what the evidence is showing, they were fired upon. That illustrates the horror. I believe if Washington supported a ceasefire, this would be a very important statement by the most significant friend of Israel. So indeed, we would welcome such a step. We wish it could be done in the Security Council, a resolution which hopefully would be tabled by the most powerful in support of a ceasefire. I'm not sure it can happen, but that's what we would wish for. I think if the United States of America were to say to Israel, United States Army is going to escort 1,000 trucks of aid to Gaza, it would happen. Now they're dropping aid. I believe that's quite demeaning to make people run in. You know, we should have the trucks. They're all at the borders. They're waiting to come in. Somebody needs to say, these trucks, they will deliver aid. We will make sure they do. And then we'll see whether they will shoot soldiers of the countries that support them.